is none other than Rochelle Crump. Mr. Crump, the U.S. Army veteran and founder and president of NWVU. How are you today?
I'm present and accounted for, sir.
Great. I love it when you say that.
I know.
And of course, everybody, you know the call-in number. If you want to give us a call on the issue, because there's a lot of information that's going to be coming out. 312-374-8130. Introduce your guest.
Oh, absolutely. And, well, you said the magic word, African American, and we are African American military women veterans. So we're happy to be here, and thank you so much. Joining us today are two of our board members. I'll start out first. You always have to do rank first.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our NWVU Board of Directors and parliamentarian, Lieutenant Colonel Arthurine Jones. She's retired U.S. Army. She's had two tours of duty in Iraq, and she's also the leader of the Family Readiness Group from the 308th Civil Affairs Brigade. So, Colonel Jones.
How are you?
Hi, how are you? It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Good.
And then we also have our NWVU Board of Directors and chaplain from Orange County, California. She's actually from here too, but she lives in California. And this is the one and only Lyrese Mars. She's Navy, and she obtained the rank of Commander in Sea Service in Operations. She's also the past commander for numerous State Department of Veterans Affairs healthcare systems.
Navy. Okay. Good to see you.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So as you know, we're all military in our organization, enlisted and officers, retired, as well as other professions, as well as combat and peacetime, all branches of service and wartime too.
Colonel Jones, what branch were you in?
The United States Army branch.
Yay! Just hoping that was the case.
That's right. We just had our meeting today, so we've gone through those wars already.
Oh, I got you.
We had more than 30 women in the room, so it was
you would
the
know
war was on.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right. That's just great. That's great. So you're the boss. Go right ahead, my dear.
Okay, so basically, I want to talk just a little bit, if I can, about women serving in combat and things like that. I want Lieutenant Colonel Jones to say just a little bit, about her tour of duty and coming home, because I think that's important as well. We always recognize the fact that women are in combat, even though they said women are not in combat. So, we know that she's
Who says that?
been in isn't that something? So
for women in combat.
Yeah, that was kind of something that we were really surprised about and really disappointed.
And they're still saying that?
By women coming home in the body bag, like males are coming home in the body bag. So, when was that? We saw a movie before, and the woman had lost her leg in the armed forces in Iraq, and she said, when did we stop coming on the battlefield? Because that's where I lost my leg at. She was straight front about it. So, we have to keep the forefront on women, because we're, out of the picture so much with males and the domination of those who serve, in the capacity as we do. So, Lieutenant Colonel Jones.
Well, I would like to first say that it was a great honor to serve my country for 27 years in the United States Army. And my tours of duty in Iraq were the highlight of my career, in that I served with comrades from every branch of the service. I was a commander with wonderful, wonderful colleagues who worked with me. I don't consider them as subordinates. I consider them as equals. And I would say that for every veteran that served this country and served in a war, when they come back, they are never the same. And so what I do in order to help heal myself is to serve my comrades. And one is being a member of the National Women's Veterans United, where we support women and their families who have served. We help them as they go through life back here in the United States.
And one of the things also about her was that she was a postal inspector as well. 30-something, was it 30? Ma'am,
Well,
how
I
many
worked
years?
for the service for a total of government for over 35 years.
Okay, wow.
Right.
Let me ask you this before we go back to the boss lady over here. You said 27 years, right?
That's correct.
In the service. What was your MOS at that time?
My MOS was, it included postal military operations as well as civil affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And with civil affairs, you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You help rebuild the infrastructure and you help provide humanitarian relief. One of my assignments, I worked under the leadership of General Petraeus. I was part of his planning team in Mosul.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my other deployment, I befriended, who I didn't know was in the military, General Coral Peach, who is the first female Asian general in the United States Army as well as JAG. And with her husband, Colonel Jim Peach, who was also an attorney, and he heads elder law in Hawaii University. Working with them was indeed a pleasure because we were all equals, and our role was the rule of law.
That's great. And you got to work with General Petraeus.
Absolutely,
That's
a
great.
wonderful commander.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, everything we've heard about him certainly suggests.
Yeah,
that,
and now I want
right.
Larice to tell a little bit about her service. She had sea service, which is different, you
She had
know.
what?
Sea service.
Sea service,
Yeah,
okay.
because she was in
Oh,
the
sea?
Navy.
Oh, yeah, right,
So,
yeah.
you know, that was a whole different perspective of women being in the military also. So
Right.
tell a little bit about your service as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
As a chaplain in the Navy, at that time I was serving with Coast Guard, Marine, and Navy.
You were a chaplain?
So I wore all three uniforms. Yes, I was a
Okay.
chaplain for over 30 years.
Wow. Okay, now say that again. You served.
We served Coast Guard,
Uh-huh.
Marines, and Navy. Marines don't have their own chaplains and their own medical.
I never knew that.
And then they-
Yes.
Yeah. So say that again. That's interesting. Because I had no idea. You were chaplain for 30 years,
Yes, sir.
and the Coast Guard
As a Navy chaplain,
as a Navy chaplain. Yeah.
I
okay.
served
Mhm.
as a Coast Guard chaplain or
Uh-huh.
served with the Coast Guard.
Uh-huh.
I served as a Marine chaplain
Okay. Okay. They don't.
and Navy.
And Navy. Of course, Navy was your
Yes.
primary service.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about that aircraft carrier named after that gentleman?
After which gentleman? Who were we?
Are we familiar with that?
No.
No. Okay. All right. There's an aircraft carrier that was just not on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look that up,
to
though.
look that up.
I was
Yeah.
going to say
Yeah.
we'll look that up.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, I'm sure you will.
Exactly.
We'll get back to you on that.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
one of the things that was interesting about her service too, and when she got out, was serving with the Department of Veterans Affairs as a chaplain in
Oh,
several
okay.
of the healthcare systems. That's really unique also, because most of the time you always see males doing that role. And you know, it's just interesting that women are doing everything, you know, and it's exciting to know these women. As you know, coming into the organization, we have so many unique women who have done some fantastic things that are just amazing, you know, from being the first to serve as JAG officers in the Illinois Army National Guard. That would be Judge Cooper, you know.
Sure.
So we, you know, we have a lot of women who are notable in their own rights to, you know, how they served in the armed forces. But we're excited right now about the conference that we're putting on. It's a free conference for military women veterans. It's also our 15th anniversary. Can you believe that? You know, I always say
Can I
this.
interrupt you one moment,
Uh-huh.
please? Thank
Okay.
you so much. And I'll let you go right.
Okay.
We're talking about women. I have a particular interest, of course, of black women serving in the services. And the one thing that I just really, and we talked about this, I think, briefly, that picture of those 4 African-American women who were graduates from West Point. I just thought that was such a great picture. And then the year before that, they had a black woman who was the head of the whole group, which I may know her father, that I think I served with. But women are really doing such a great job.
Yes, indeed. And
which
they're
is great,
everywhere.
Which is great, yeah.
They're everywhere, but they don't get acknowledged. That's
Yeah,
part
and that's
of what we're fighting so hard about, to
Exactly.
make sure that we do not get left out of history.
Right.
That's part of our legacy, and preserving that legacy so that those women who have made some significant contributions to the armed forces are not left out. They're
Right.
not forgotten. You know, and we say that same thing about those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We want to make sure that we never forget them, never forget the families who have to stand up and to support children that were left behind. And that's part of something that we do in our organization, you know. And we talked about that, and then I'm gonna get back to this conference. That's because you know, we
I
have
interrupted you.
caretaker of children who have been left behind.
Certainly,
there was no spouse, and so a grandmother or aunt or somebody had to step in to change their whole life to take on that duty. But a lot of times that's not acknowledged through the VA, even, you know, and or through the military, because they become caretakers of children who basically are those left behind from a person who has been killed in action or died as a result of the injuries that they sustained. So, you know, we're doing something with the Robinson Wilson family, Simone Robinson, in which we named our facility after her. She's 13 years old, you know, and we do a lot of things. If we have time, we'll go back to that. Lieutenant Colonel Jones has been, you know, a great advocate with the family as well, you know, making sure that they are right on a, you know, regular basis and stuff, and our organization supports her in every way that we can. So we want to talk a little bit about this 15th anniversary. It's a free conference for military women of all branches of service, war era officers enlisted. We have some great workshops that we'll be doing, suicide prevention and awareness. We can't say enough about that, you know. We have to keep that at the forefront. Money smart financial wellness. We have to teach these younger veterans coming out of the military how they can manage better, because we know that they'll be wanting to do other amazing things like business ownership, learning more about the Illinois procurement process, you know. And we're also going to have some great speakers that will be talking about those things, as well as motivating them to keep them going, understanding, you know, the networking that they need to do with among themselves, you know, because it's about things that people know that you can learn from them and vice versa. And we have to keep sharing that information, particularly about the VA benefit information, you know, because sometimes they are not aware. We're still finding out they are not aware of their benefits. We still see that there's false information out here. Just recently, a veteran called. She was an Iraqi veteran. She's been trying to file a claim, she said, for 4 years for a hearing disability that she has in Iraq. Boom, 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 going on all day, and now she has tinnitus and nobody wants to deal with it, you know. And I just encourage her, you go back to that VA and do not take an answer of no. You know, you demand that they take your claim. She said someone told her that you're not going to win that claim. They don't make the decision. The VA makes that decision, you know. So we have to keep letting them know to not take the answer of no, making sure that they get something in writing that tells them no, because everything that you do is appealable, and we want to make sure that they understand that process. So we're also going to have a free raffles, resources, continental breakfast forum, a lunch, and the highlights of our 15 years of making a difference and providing a service, and also preserving our legacy of our organization and the women who serve in it. We're really excited about that. And, you know, we also want to make sure that the people can know that there's a 15th anniversary conference ad space. If they want to put an ad in our conference book, they're welcome to do so. Our event is being held on Saturday, March the 28th of 2020 at the Tinley Park Convention Center. And we are in Tinley Park. And if they want to contact us, they can contact us by phone at 872-731-2150, or they can email us at nwvu.org at gmail.com. Can't say enough about this conference that's coming up. And the best thing about it that they should know is, guess what, Cliff? It's free. It is free. And there's free parking as well. So, you know, and if they really need transportation and cannot get there, they need to call us and let us know. If we get enough people who say that they cannot make it there, you know, because of transportation issues, we will consider providing transportation. And we have to give a shout out to, you know, those who are supporting this, the service, the Supportive Veterans Foundation. I had to think for a minute. I wondered, you know, I'm in between two thoughts there. We always have to shout out to Trinka Davis Foundation and the Supportive Veterans Foundation. That's who is supporting us for that. And also the Jewel Osco is contributing to that also from a grant we had gotten from them, along with the Enterprise car people. So, you know, we're happy to be able to put this on. In addition to that, we have many of the programs that we are doing in our facility. So we want to talk a little bit about that also.
Sure. Before we move to that, Rochelle, Carol, I would like to, first of all, take this opportunity to congratulate the Disabled American Veterans, DAV, on their centennial celebration this year. 100 years of servicing our veterans with disabilities. Right. And also they support female veterans.
Yes, absolutely.
They recently backed women's legislation for veterans that passed the House, and it needs Senate support at this time. Okay. Not only that, on the last night, they provided us monetary funds for our 15th year gala, because it's free to our female veterans, but we all know that it is not free.
Sure.
Absolutely. Right.
And so I just want to thank DAV for supporting women veterans as well as veterans overall.
And also the Paralyzed Veterans of America, the same thing with them. They did a free conference. They're having another one in November of this year. They're helping those disabled veterans, and it's open to all veterans, you know, for the work that they're actually doing on our behalf in Congress, letting them know the still challenges that women veterans have. So we want to give them a shout out too, and thank them for what they're doing on behalf of veterans. That's female veterans. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We talked a minute ago about women veterans doing a good job.
I want to make sure everybody knows who's talking.
This is Larice. Right. Sea Service. Navy.
Right.
About women veterans doing a great job. And it just needs to be said that for years, it's not something new, women have been doing great jobs. World War II, when the men had to go, women stepped up, and that is including black women. And so sometimes women feel like they did what they were supposed to do and they're not veterans. Women, you have to understand, if you wore the uniform for any length of time, you are a veteran, and we are here to assist you. And our center on the south side of Chicago has all kinds of programs that can support you. Our conference will have time for networking and talking, and there are challenges that happen as you serve in the service, and this is the time to get those challenges out, find out where you go to get the resources, find out about peer support and financial opportunities for you. Some of the things that we have going, this is February 8th or February 15th.
Yeah, the
is
next
the
one
fundraiser.
Is
February 15th, a Bid Whist Roaring 20s fundraiser.
Absolutely. And we're going to have, this is a Black History Month program too. And we're going to have Mr. Taps there. He's going to be doing Bojangles. And this is going to be fun. And we're going to dress up like the Roaring 20s and how they did when, during that time. And we're going to have fun that night. So we're going to have that. Give us a call at 872-731-2150. 888-938-5250, and then we can provide you with that information. Now, some really good things that are coming up, and I'm going to talk fast because I don't want us to run out of time here, is we have the creative art therapy program that's coming up. Also, about the psoriatic arthritis and hepatitis C virus. We have health initiatives, and those are so important.
Yeah.
People fail to think that younger veterans don't have arthritis, but they do. They do have arthritis, and we need to address that. And then we have a mini stand-down coming up for military women veterans on Saturday, February the 29th. And again, give us a call. And one of the things that we are involved in, and this is really important too because it affects military women veterans who served from the year of 1940 to 1975, is going to be Operation Her Story. It's Women Veterans Flight. Operation Her Story is the first flight in Illinois that is going forward with military women veterans from the state of Illinois.